Hi everyone, welcome back to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I'm Stephen, and this, of course, is the day. The dreaded reign of Farhad Moshiri as Everton's majority shareholder is finally over. The news dropped at 10 a.m. this morning on the 19th of December that the Friedkin Group had officially bought Farhad Moshiri's Blue Heaven Holdings majority stake in Everton Football Club. So they've bought a 98.8% stake in the club, which is obviously more than Moshiri's 94.1% that he had. So obviously Dan Friedkin, we know a little bit about him. We know a bit about him from purely the last couple of months. Many Evertonians have done a bit of digging on him. And you know, he's released a pretty good stadium. He says, "I take immense pride in welcoming one of England's most historic football clubs to our global family, the Friedkin Group. Everton represents a proud legacy, and we are honoured to become custodians of this great institution." So he's saying the right things. Obviously, saying the right things and doing the right things are completely different. But he also said, whilst we are new to the club, we fully understand the vital role Everton plays in local culture, history, and the lives of Evertonians here and around the world. So, yeah, I think he seems to be saying the right things at this point. Of course, people like this are very heavily media trained at this point. You know, he's maybe not trained, but he's a very wealthy man, a very successful person. So I'm not surprised that he's coming out and saying the right things. Time will tell if this one will hopefully be the one that works out for the club. So the current board appointments, of course, Mark Watts is the new executive chairman of Everton Football Club. Colin Chong is staying on, which I'm happy with. Colin Chong, we don't really know what he's been up to very much. We know that he's had that interim role at Everton for a while now, and we're just sort of, I wonder if maybe he's coasting a little bit. I understand the situation at the club is very complex, and a job like that can't be easy. So, but Colin Chong has done very well in what he's done to deliver Bramley-Moore Dock Stadium, and Anna Dunkel, hope I'm pronouncing that right, she will also serve on the board. So more appointments will be made in the coming weeks. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But you know what? I'm very happy. He's come in first day. He's appointed a new executive chairman and mentioned a new CEO coming in. So very happy. Mark Watts, who I did mention there, says today marks a monumentous and proud occasion for the Friedkin Group as we become custodians of this iconic football club. We are committed to leading Everton into an exciting new era, both on and off the pitch. Providing immediate financial stability to the club has been a key priority, and we are delighted to have achieved this. So they're the golden words, really. They're what we wanted. The Friedkin Group to come in and immediately, look at the debts that the club had, turn them into equity, pay them off, refinance them and stuff like that. And that's what they've done. So very happy about that. While restoring Everton to its rightful place in the Premier League table will take time, today is the first step in that journey. So, yeah, Mark Watts again coming in, saying all the right things, and hopefully he is a fairly successful chief executive, because he has to be. I think the patience is pretty much at a very low point for Everton. So they've also released a list of a vision for Everton Football Club with some key priorities, and I think this is really important. Strengthening the men's first team squad through thoughtful and strategic investment. That's the main one. And I'm very happy with that, because that is the exact opposite of what we've been doing for the past 6-7 years. It's clear to see when you look at the likes of Forest, you look at Brighton, you look at Aston Villa as well, how easy it is to go from zero to hero in this league. And I think they really want to do that, and they are going to maybe take that mould that these other clubs have and implement it at our club. Cultivating homegrown superstars through Everton's academy, fostering a distinct on-pitch and commercial strategy for the women's team. I think that's really important as well, because right now I think it feels a little bit like the Everton women's team's coasting a little bit. Of course, some really good wins in the past few weeks, but again, I think it does lack a bit of an identity as compared to the men's side. respecting the club's traditions and keeping Everton at the heart of the community. Of course, that'll be quite hard moving into the new stadium, but we'll see what they mean by that in the coming years. Maximising the potential of the new stadium through long-term commercial deals. So, yeah, hopefully we're going to get concerts, boxing matches, gigs, sporting events at the new stadium, and hopefully Everton can sort of become a bit of a superpower in English football. It's been reported by iPaper Sport and numerous others that the Friedkin Group have now paid off the rights and media funding £225 million debt, as well as the £200 million loan from 777 partners. I'm glad it wasn't them who took us over, because I'd be having a nightmare here. Which means we're pretty much debt free. Of course, no football club is ever completely debt free, but it's pretty good, and you know, I'm fairly happy with that, and obviously that's the right sort of fork in the ground to actually to make a move forward. My personal thoughts. The fan base have been quite positive about it. It's nice to see a lot of positivity. When Moshiri took over, it was very much a case of we finally been bought, because we'd put up with years of being skint under Bill Kenwright, with David Moyes pretty much having to use every single contact he had to get any player. When Moshiri come in, I think Evertonians felt a lot like it was a bit like the Manchester City effect that happened in 2008, where we were just going to buy everyone, and it was going to go really well, and we were going to spend all our money and buy the best players. Unfortunately, we were 8 years too late for that, and it wasn't the position in football that it had been. So I think we've learned from that we have to be a bit more sensible about it. We have to be a bit more reserved. We have to expect more, and you know, we have to be patient with Dan Friedkin, whilst also you know, expecting what our motto is, nothing but the best. So obviously Moshiri's going, and he will be back at the club at some point in the next few months to, you know, come to Goodison Park, and I don't know how fans will give him a sort of send off, really, if how he'll be received. Of course, that's a topic for another video. He's a bit of a controversial figure, but of course we'll see how that happens. I think it's best now to leave the past behind us and move on to a new future for Everton Football Club. Of course, you can stay tuned on the Toffee Blues YouTube channel. We'll be doing lots more content on the Moshiri leaving, the Friedkin takeover, all that stuff. So yeah, make sure you like and subscribe the video, make sure you comment down below, and I'll see you in the next one.